Why switch SaaS provider this year? I guess the first thing to say is if you don't need to, don't. There's no reason to switch if you're happy with the service that you're getting. Sadly, that's not the case with a lot of the clients we deal with. We get a number of inquiries about switching from people's present SaaS providers to us. And I think the main reason that's cited is level of service. It is worth mentioning we are One Crown Pensions. We're an HMRC registered SaaS specialist, and we do SaaS pretty much all day long. Now, when it comes to the level of service, what we often hear from clients is that they're not getting their emails responded to very quickly or at all. When they are getting their emails responded to, the answers aren't necessarily very helpful. Some providers, we're told, will often refer to clients to their accountants or the rules, but in an unhelpful way, not kind of applying them or helping them understand that, and that naturally can be frustrating for clients. So what's helpful to consider in relation to whether you should switch this year, I guess there are a few headings that I would cite. The first one is level of service, and I guess it is difficult to know a business's, a provider's level of service before you've kind of formally engaged with them in one sense. But I would suggest that there are some clues, and the clues that I would point to are what I call their shop window, their website. We live in a digital world, and if a provider isn't updating their website, the information is outdated, not updated, or irrelevant. Perhaps it's just not very friendly or difficult to make sense of. The resources that they have may be weak or poor or few. These things can suggest poor level of service. Can do, not always, but they can do, because in the age that we live in, if a provider isn't taking care with those things, then one wonders what other things may not be taken care of. That's just one thing to note. Another thing to note is the ease of accessibility of knowledge and experience. What I mean by that is this: oftentimes with SaaS, it can be difficult to actually find the answers that you need, particularly online. It can seem a bit cloak and dagger for whatever reason. Sometimes providers want you to really kind of formally engage with them again before they tell you any information. We believe the opposite to that. We believe it's important to be open, it's important to be transparent. That's why we have dozens and dozens, scores of short videos, accessible videos that we release and have released for free to everybody, so that everybody that chooses to grow in their knowledge of SaaS, whether they have one or not, whether they're with us or not, they will learn and they will grow. And we don't just have a bank of videos on YouTube and on our website, but we are continually adding to those resources. That's important because it's important, if you do have a SaaS, to be able to maximize your SaaS and to stay sharp within SaaS and be kept up to speed with the latest changes within SaaS as well. That's another important consideration. Are you getting that from your SaaS provider? It's one thing to think about, which takes me to my next point, which is on resources. Resources, again, what resources is your SaaS provider providing you? Are they being helpful? Are you growing in your knowledge year on year of what SaaS is? Within a SaaS, oftentimes there are spouses or partners and children. And the children, if I can speak about on them for just a moment, if you do have children or considering one day putting children in a SaaS, they will be a part of the SaaS just as much as you are. What that means is they need to understand SaaS for themselves. They need to. And so therefore, having resources that speak to them, that speak to their generation, that they might be familiar with, that they may be able to engage with, that's an important consideration for you when considering whether you should switch SaaS provider, because they need to understand these things. They're, after all, likely to be the inheritors. Another consideration is convenience. One of the ways that we offer convenience is through our sister companies. By default, if you have a SaaS, you are a limited company owner or company director, and likely you're company is profitable, so that you'll be making the contributions. Generally speaking, that means that you're busy. You're a busy person, and there's often this tension of being a busy person, wanting to continue to run your limited company, but at the same time looking to essentially purchase commercial property and grow even a commercial property empire within your SaaS, or deal with other investments. And it can be difficult to do both at the same time, which is where our convenience levels come in. We have a sister company called One Crown Property. They help you purchase, place, manage commercial property as much as you want them to help you. They will. Another sister company called One Crown Investments, who offer SaaS permissible investment opportunities, usually short term. And within the One Crown group, really, you have a wealth of convenience at your disposal. And I guess the last thing to consider when wondering whether to switch your SaaS provider this year is value. There are other SaaS providers out there that will do SaaS for very, very cheap. And the reality is that perhaps that isn't clear is that's just a paperwork exercise. They'll produce the paperwork and then you're on your own. And the reality is with SaaS, if you're the administrator, there are key responsibilities on you, important ones with consequence, that most people at least need assistance with, which is very much what we do. It's worth mentioning as well, in your SaaS are people that you care about. Obviously, usually a spouse or partner or children, very precious. Your SaaS is also attached to your business, which naturally is producing, hopefully, profits for you, which is very precious. And your SaaS also, of course, holds your pension, which is extremely precious. And so to just go with the cheapest this year is a big call. It's a big call. You may end up having to switch again, which of course nobody wants to do. So when it comes to whether to switch your SaaS provider, value is what is key here. And so these are just a few things to consider when thinking about whether to switch SaaS provider this year. It is worth mentioning, if you were to switch to us, if you know anyone else that is also being underserved by their SaaS provider, if you and they were to switch, you may well qualify for our refer a friend package, whereby you would get £100, both of you, off your setup fee. But we want to hear from you. Are you getting good levels of service from your SaaS provider? Or maybe you've got a SIP. Are you happy with the service that they're offering? Leave a comment below.
Book a call with us via the link in the description below. If on a mobile device, simply hit the More button under the video title and pick a convenient time to speak. Feel free to share this video with others that may benefit on WhatsApp or in other online groups or channels. Like, subscribe and hit the notification bell for lots more SaaS related content, and leave a comment if you found this video helpful. For more, visit onecrownpensions.com.